You know what the fucked up part of doing it scared is? You actually have to do it scared. Like, you actually have to do it while you're scared. And it's easy to utter the words. It's easy to intellectualize this idea. It's easy to be like, yeah, of course. Like, I've never done that before. I'm gonna have to do it scared. I'm gonna have to do it worried about what everyone else is gonna think. I'm gonna have to do it with my own judgment of myself. But then to actually take the steps to do it scared, I don't want to do it. It's like I'm still waiting for the moment when I don't feel scared. I'm still waiting for that feeling of readiness. The embodiment of doing it scared is so scary. And I still have to do it. And I find myself in the freeze, in the preparing. There's this point of needing to learn something new in order to do something different, which is very valid and a very important part of the process. For this, for example, figuring out how to, like, to me, like, the sound and lighting thing was like I've never thought about how to do that. So I had to learn that, right? Like, you have to take time to watch the videos, to invest in the equipment. Can you start without it? Yeah, absolutely. But that feeling of, oh, but I need this. Oh, but I need the new camera. I need the new phone. I need the new microphone. Like, that will have you not starting. That has me not starting. And the excuse in my head as to why, the thing that's keeping me from saying, oh, I'll do it scared when I have the perfect setup, when I have the perfect time, when I have the perfect equipment. Even though I've done all the research, I've taken all the time, I've watched the consuming of material, the watching other people do it, even though those people are probably really scared too, but having this thought in my head of like, oh, they have it all figured out. Reality is, I don't know a single person who will honestly look at you and say, I have it all figured out. I am 100% exactly where I want to be in life, and I feel confident about everything. And if they do, they didn't start there. And I also wrestle with this, like, I should have done it 5 years ago. And then that's the thing that stops me too. That guilt that I put on myself, that shame that I put on myself of like, oh, if I just did it when I first said that I was going to do it, I'd be how many years into, with the experience, with the failures, with the trials, with all of that time would have already been invested, and I would be somewhere else right now. And I sit in that shame of, I could be somewhere else. I would be somewhere else if I wasn't so, insert self-judgment about myself. Insert shame, insert thought that keeps me stuck. So if it's not the equipment that I don't have, if it's not my education that I feel like I need to know more, I'm not qualified enough to do this, if it's not me shaming myself into, I should have done it before, I should have done it better, and also the vulnerability of allowing myself to be seen in the process. And even thinking about, it's funny now when we look back at when we were younger and took our videos of dancing in the bedroom with our camera and how ridiculous we looked, right? And then you look at kids today and how put together, and the dances are all synchronized, and it's almost like that's a perfect depiction of what your start looks like versus what your 10 years in looks like. And I judge my start. I think about how much I will cringe when I look back at where I started and the things I talked about and how I talked about them, and how I may look back again in this self-judgment space of what I'm not doing right and how harshly I will be judging myself. And all of this leaves me frozen. And then you add on top of that the shame of being frozen and the frustration with myself of like, I know what I need to do. Why do I feel so stuck? And knowing that I have to do it scared, but being so resistant to doing. And in my consistent consumption, I was listening to and watching a YouTube video the other day, and she said, it's not about talent, it's about courage. And the courage that it takes to show up imperfectly, no matter what it is, whether it's this journey, whether it's in the gym, whether it's in business, in life, like just realizing that the time and energy and effort that's put in can far surpass what is lacking. And without that courage to start, without that courage to keep going, without the courage to show up, none of it will exist. No matter how talented you truly are, no matter like what the message is that is so genuine and true, and whatever the intention is behind your why, if I don't have the courage to show up, all of that is wasted. And even if I can't see the talent that lies underneath all of my judgment, if I don't have the courage to be seen, to show up, to make mistakes, to be imperfect, to be me, to listen to my calling, to listen to the things that pull at me and tell me like, this is go, do. And I feel like we all have that, like, it's almost to me, and maybe we don't. I'm going to speak for myself. I feel like that is my, don't tell other people what to do, just speak to what is true for me. And it's like somebody in my head that won't shut up, that I just try to keep like shoving in the corner of like, no, that's not it. No, I don't want to do it. No, I can't do that because. No, I shouldn't do that because I'm not qualified to do that because. And just like shove that person who just keeps telling me in the corner, and she just gets more and more angry, and then she gets sad, and then she tries to yell and scream. And what would happen if I honored that? Regardless of all of the conditioning to not trust myself, regardless of what the outcome might even be. Like, I always feel better after I take the time to do this. I always feel better after I do what that voice is always telling me, like, you can do, like, you need to do. This is what you want to do. And I stay in the comfort. I stay in what I know. I stay where it feels safe. And as cliche as it is, what is it? Do the hard thing now. And what is that saying? Do what's hard now and your life will be easy later. Or do what's easy now and your life will be hard later. Doing the easy, the comfortable, leaves me feeling so frustrated, leaves me feeling so stuck. And that short-term relief of distraction, of resistance, of letting the resistance take over and just pushing her in the corner, that short term is doing nothing for me. And the fear is still there, because the fear then is the fear of regret. the fear then is the fear of doing nothing. And resisting and avoiding leaves me out of alignment, leaves me feeling unsatisfied, unfulfilled, and that will only haunt me. As much as I think that these probably imperfect videos are going to be what haunts me, the never doing will truly be the ghosts. And that feeling of stuck will never disappear. The what if I did it will always be there if I don't do it scared. And I hate it so much. And I know it is the growth that is calling me forward. And that doesn't make it any easier. And even though it made so much logical sense, the embodiment of it is so challenging. So maybe this makes you feel a little bit less alone if you too are stuck, whether it's in relationship, whether it's in business, whether it's personally in your own journey. We all get there. I guess the thing is we don't all move through it. We decide to have the courage to do it scared. We decide to continue. And we fight for ourselves every day. Fight for who we deserve to become. And that deserving and that healing all happens with the small steps that are really so big. Like so big. So I'm going to give myself a big one of these for showing up today. And maybe this gives you a little show up. It's okay. It might suck. It's okay. We're all going to die. And it'll be over. And that's comforting. In a way. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for listening. Until next time.